So, hello all. In the previous lectures we were discussing about quantum numbers and we came to know about 4 different types of quantum number, that is principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. So, what basically are quantum numbers? Earlier we knew about the 2D model of atom, that is an atom consists of a nucleus at the center and there are orbits in which the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. But later on, after the Schrodinger's wave mechanical model of atom, a 3-dimensional model came into picture and which gave the information about orbitals and subshells. So, according to this, in a particular orbital there are further subdivisions called as subshells. A shell contains further subdivisions called as subshells and there are 4 different types of subshells, that is S, P, D and F. Now, these subshells are distributed in a 3-dimensional space. So, if I consider axis x, y and z axis, it was assumed that these orbitals or these subshells were spread out in these axes. So, the shape of s orbital was spherical, p is dumbbell, D double dumbbell and F fundamental or very complex structure. So, if we consider these space s orbital, if we try to spread out s orbital in an axis as it is spherical in shape, it will be uniformly distributed in all the axes. So, there is only one particular orbital available for s orbital. But if I consider f, then f shape is dumbbell. So, this can lie in 3 different axes, the z axis, x axis, y axis. So, therefore, for p orbital we have further 3 orbitals for p subshell, that is px, py and pz. Similarly, for d subshell we have 5 orbitals and for f subshell we have 7 orbitals. Now, after we have found the concept of orbitals and subshells, later on the model or the concept of electronic configuration was revised and earlier we were dealing with a KLMN configuration, like these were the orbits and we were distributing the electrons as per the magic numbers. But after the discovery or after we have found out these orbitals, the concept of electronic configuration was further revised and what we found that electronic configuration was governed by certain rules. So, what are such rules? The first is Aufbau principle. Okay. So, what we found out in a s orbital or s subshell we have 1 orbital, for p we had 3 orbitals, for d we had 5 orbitals and for f we had 7 orbitals, right, 7 orbitals. This was S, P, D, F. And writing electronic configuration means basically distributing electrons in these orbitals. So, how it was done? It was done based on 3 rules. First one is Aufbau principle. According to this, in the ground state, electrons fill subshells of the lowest energy first. Okay. So, electrons are filled in the increasing order of their energy. The lowest energy is filled first and gradually it goes on in an ascending order. Now, in the second principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, it said an electron cannot have all the 4 sets of quantum numbers similar. Like we had 4 quantum numbers, principal, azimuthal, magnetic as well as spin. So, according to Pauli's exclusion principle, a particular electron cannot have all the 4 sets of quantum numbers similar, they have to be different. Next is Hund's rule. According to it, pairing cannot start until all the subshells are singly occupied. suppose for example I am considering p orbital, and in p orbital I am filling up suppose 4 electrons, then first I have to fill all the orbitals singly and then I will start the pairing. This was determined by Hund's rule. Okay. So, after these rules we will move on to actually writing the electronic configuration. Now, students, here you came across a term called lowest energy orbitals. So, what is lowest energy orbital, or what will determine whether an orbital is a lowest energy orbital? So, for that also we have certain rule. It's first of all it's called the N plus L rule. Before going to N plus L rule, you have to understand what is N and what is L. So, N is the principal quantum number, L is the azimuthal quantum number. So, if the principal quantum number is 1, the value of L will be 0. Okay. Basically, L is 0 to n minus 1. The value of L lies between 0 to n minus 1. So, if n is 1, the value of L will be 0. If n is 2, the value of L will be 0, 1. If the value of n is 3, L will be 0, 1, 2, like that. Now, if the value of, again you have to remember one thing, if the value of L is 0, it signifies S subshell. If its value is 1, it signifies P subshell. If its value is 2, it signifies D subshell, and if its value is 3, it signifies F subshell. So, you have to keep these things in mind. Now, using this we will carry forward the concept of electronic configuration. Now, N plus L rule. So, for S orbital, if the value of n is 1, only one possible value of L is possible. So, that L is, again the value of L is 0. So, for 1 only one S is possible. For 2, again 2 value of L is possible, 0 and 1, and 0 for S, 1 for P. So, for 2 we get 2S and 2P. For third orbit, we get 3 possible values, 0, 1, 2. Now, 0 signifies S subshell, 1 signifies P, and 2 signifies D. So, we get 3S, 3P and 3D. Now, suppose the value of n is 4, its value will be 0, 1, 2, 3, right. Now, for 0, it signifies S, 1 is P, 2 again D and 3 F. So, for 4, what possible values are there? 4S, 4P, 4D and 4F. Now, later on it follows the same values like the SP, D, F, it continues. Okay. So, for 1 only one orbital, one subshell was possible, for 2, 2 subshell, for 3, 3 subshells, and for 4, 4 subshells. Now, what will determine the value of energies? Okay. We have discussed a concept, S orbital was greater or closer to the nucleus, P was little farther, D and F, it gradually increased like this, the proximity to the nucleus, and the energy values also increases with orbits, like first orbit will have a lower energy, second orbit will have a higher energy, third orbit will have a further more higher energy, and 4, like this the value of energy will increase. So, the value of 1s should be least, the value of 2s and 2p should be more than 1s. Similarly, it would increase, but it does not increase symmetrically. The value, these increasing energy value do not follow a particular trend, rather it goes according to the N plus L rule. So, for N plus N stands here for principal quantum number, and L stands for azimuthal quantum number. So, if I am taking 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d. So, if you consider this trend and suppose 4s also. So, if you consider this and compare it with the energy values over here considering only the orbit, then the energy value should actually increase, right. So, energy value should be 1s less than 2s less than 2p. Likewise, it should gradually keep on increasing, but the value or the trend is not so, because it is primarily, or energy is primarily determined by the n plus L rule. Suppose I am considering 1s, the value of n here is 1 and a value of L here for s, the value of L was 0. So, 1 plus 0 1, 2 plus 0 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 0 3. See, 2p and 3s, they are having similar energy. Now, for 3p, 3 plus 1 4 and here 4 plus 0 4. Okay. So, if you look here, let me erase it. Yeah. So, if you see here, what you observe is the value 1, 2, again 3, 3. So, here gradually the value was increasing, again they became similar, then increased, again similar, right. So, what is this trend? Why is this n plus L rule so different, and why electron filling is done according to this n plus L rule? So, if you observe here clearly, obviously electrons will be filled according to the increasing order of energy. Now, if you see the increasing order here, then first 1s should be filled, then 2s, then 2p, then again, okay, exactly. So, 2s and 2p, after they are in the increasing order of energy, but if you compare 2p and 3s, they are in the similar energy state. So, which one will be like how you will decide here which will be the highest energy or lowest energy? When the value of n plus L for both are similar, then you will compare the value of n only. Whose n value will be smaller, that n will be in a lower orbit or lower energy state. So, if you compare 2p and 3s, then 2p is comparatively in a lower energy state than 3s, and therefore, 2p will be filled first than 3s. Then 2p, 3s, then here again 3p and 4s, the same confusion arises. Again the same thing, the value of n is smaller for 3p, so 3p will be filled first, then 4s. After that, you were supposed to have, after 3p you were supposed to have a 3d orbital. Now, if you compare the energy of 3d, it will be 3 plus, for d the value is 2, so it is 5. So, here 4s and 3d, if you compare, 4s is having a comparatively lower energy than 3d, therefore, 4s is filled first and after that we are filling 3d. Okay. So, you will decide primarily on n plus L rule, and if the value of n plus L is similar, then you will compare the n value. The one having a smaller n value will be in a lower energy state. So, what exactly will be the electronic configuration? If you try to draw it, it will be somewhat like this. First you have to fill 1s, then 2s, 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p and 6s. After that 4f, 5d, 6p, 5f, 6d, and later on here you will be having a, like here you will draw and find along the line you will be moving. So, now you have got in which order you will be filling the orbitals, right. So, 1s will be filled first, then 2s, then 2p, then 3s, then 3p, then 4s, then 3d. I guess if you remember till this much, all your electronic configuration up to 30 will be done, but you can remember this table, this will be easier for you. Now, okay, then what is the maximum capacity of these orbitals, right. So, S was having one subshell, S subshell was having only a single orbital, P was having 3 orbitals, D was having 5 orbital, F was having 7 orbitals, and in each orbital, like each orbital has a capacity of filling maximum 2 electrons. Okay. So, S has a maximum capacity of 2, P will have, as there are 3 orbitals and each orbital has a maximum capacity of 2. So, the total number of electrons filled will be 6. In case of D, similarly it will be 10, and for F it is 14. These are the maximum capacity of the individual orbitals, right. Now, after these information, we can safely move on to writing the electronic configuration of our elements. So, we will start. For example, if I am saying hydrogen, atomic number 1, again it has only 1 electron. So, first we have 1s orbital, and 1s has a maximum capacity of 2 electrons, but we are having 1 electron, and we will simply write 1s1. The configuration for hydrogen is 1s1. For helium, atomic number 2, the configuration will be 1s2. For lithium, configuration, atomic number 3, configuration will be 1s2. After that, what we are having? 2s, and how many electrons we are left with after giving 1s2? Obviously 1. So, its configuration will be 2s1. For lithium, then again we are having beryllium 4, boron 5, carbon 6, nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, fluorine 9, neon 10, sodium 11, magnesium 12, aluminium 13. So, I guess after writing this much you will be clear about electronic configuration. We will be individually seeing these elements now. For beryllium, the configuration will be 1s2, 2s2. For boron, it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. For carbon, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. For nitrogen, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. For oxygen, 1s2, 2s2, 2p4, 1s2, 2s2, 2p5, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. The maximum capacity of P was 6. After completing 6, we will move on to 3s. So, it will be 3s1. Again, that will be filled up till it is fully filled. So, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. Aluminium will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. Now, 3s is completely filled. Next, we will move on to 3p. So, you will get 3p1. Okay. So, these were some of the electronic configuration of our first 13 elements of the periodic table. So, you can practice up till 20. So, that is it for the video. Thank you very much. Next class, we will start up with the next chapter. Thank you.